Hey everybody, Sean Bukowski here. Hope you're all having a great week in this nice, cool Austin weather or Texas weather if you're other areas. It's going to be a torturous summer, I'm afraid. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk to you about. No, not the weather. I'm not a weatherman. But I do want to talk to you about something that's been coming up a lot lately. People in our circles in the real estate industry have really been talking about not only inflation but also interest rates rising. I mean, that's obviously one of the biggest topics right now in real estate is interest rates rising. The Fed has raised them, a few times, and there's no end in sight with how many times they're going to raise them in the next 12 to 18 months. And as a result, people are there's lots of different effects that have on the real estate industry, but one of them is kind of looking at alternative lending and debt sources, and what are some issues that can arise when we're looking at those. And one of the things that I was talking about with a friend of mine this week was, some of these new or different, not new, but different types of lending vehicles have large prepayment penalties that come with them. And what is a seller, if an owner has something with a large prepayment penalty, what are the options that owner can face? And there's a couple of them. The one that kind of jumps out to everybody is, assumption. And assumption is fairly common in commercial industry. There's obviously a process. I'm sure most of you have been through the assumption process, but you have to get approval from the lender, and there's a process to do that. The other possibility is through a defeasance. And if you're not familiar with a defeasance, it's basically buying the owner with the sale proceeds from the sale will buy a security, usually a T-bill, that matches up the payments with the underlying loan payments, so that the loan continues to get paid out through the dividend payments that come from the underlying security. And as a result, the seller can avoid the prepayment penalty, and assuming that I mean, obviously they still have to pay for the security, the defeasance security, but usually that the cost of the defeasance security is less than the additional amount is less than what the prepayment penalty will be. So you can buy this security that will match up with the underlying mortgage, and thus avoid the prepayment penalty and get out of but not have to pay it yourself, make the remaining payments themselves. So it's really a pretty good way to go about avoiding prepayment penalties if you want to. There's a process for doing it. There are companies that have set up. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. And in the meantime, hope you like this post. Hope you continue to subscribe to the YouTube channel, to the blog, and don't forget our new podcast called Greater Texas. We had some great guests on there, and if you know somebody else that would like to be a guest, let me know. Have a great week.